Today we're going to talk about Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and we're going to just chat about some of the pros and cons of Coeur d'Alene here in North Idaho, and just kind of give you an overview and let you decide if Coeur d'Alene is the place for you. Let's get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe below, tap that bell so you can be one of the first to be notified every time we talk about anything going on up here in the North Idaho area. Hi, my name is Reed Wilson. I'm with Living North Idaho Life, and we are here talking about Coeur d'Alene, Idaho today. We talk about something every week about some of the going on, different areas, subdivisions, all that type of stuff up here in the North Idaho area. And today we're going to talk about Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We are in niche.com here today, and so we're going to review that. And you know, we get people that are reaching out every day trying to get some information on the North Idaho area, so we're trying to bring you some of the best information we can find, kind of help you make a decision if maybe North Idaho is the place for you. Whether you're thinking about coming to North Idaho in the next 2 weeks or 2 years, give us a call, shoot us a text. We want to help you, get the best information you can so you can make the best choice for you and your family. So here we are in niche.com, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And the overall niche grade is a B-, which is actually pretty good. If you've been watching some of our other videos in some of these areas, a B- is pretty good. Here they got a little snippet here, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, with a population of 54,599. Coeur d'Alene is in Kootenai County, and it is the county seat. Living in Coeur d'Alene offers residents a dense suburban feel, and most residents own their home in Coeur d'Alene. There are lots of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks. Many families and young professionals live in Coeur d'Alene, and residents tend to be conservative. The public schools in Coeur d'Alene are above average, and that's kind of where we're going to start today. We wanted to talk about the schools here. Let's take a quick look because they are above average here in the North Idaho area, or in Idaho. And so as we look at some of these top public schools serving Coeur d'Alene, we got the Sorensen Magnet School, the Arts and Humanities, at an A. North Idaho STEM Charter, A-. Dalton Elementary, A-. Canfield Middle School, A-. Bryan Elementary, A-. Let's take a look at a few of these others. Atlas Elementary, number 59. Greens Ferry Elementary School, that's over in Post Falls, so it kind of spread out on me, so I kind of missed that one. But these others here, and they've got great high schools here in the North Idaho. We've got 2 high schools that are in the Coeur d'Alene area, and both offer great academics, both offer a lot of sports. And so if that's something, I think the biggest issue that we keep running into with schools is just the rapid growth we've had up here, and the schools trying to keep up with funding, trying to keep up with being able to make sure everybody gets a great education. So that is something that we're constantly working on. They're trying to pass bonds, they're trying to get money for the schools. I know with the election coming up, we've got some choices to make on helping fund some of our schools again. So hopefully we'll get enough people voting to help out our schools. But that is one of the issues that we tend to continue to run into when trying to up here with the school system. So one thing I didn't, most people know where Coeur d'Alene is, and as you can see on this little map right here, Coeur d'Alene sits just right off of I-90, coming over from the whoops, move my head out of the way, coming over here from the Spokane area, on I-90, and then you drop right down, and the resort and everything's right down there in the downtown area, sits right there on the lake. So that makes it, we are a destination place. This is a resort town, so just kind of give you a heads up. That is a lot of the big driver here. Quality life is a big driver. Let's jump on to the next one where we've got housing here at a C minus, and there's a good reason for that. As we look at real estate here, they're showing the median home value right now about $384,700. I know that is low. That is not correct. And right now, our average sales price right now in this area is at $707,804. And so as I was looking through just to see what's available, right now today there was about 377 properties for sale in the Coeur d'Alene, city of Coeur d'Alene area. That's not including outside like Hayden, Post Falls, that's just Coeur d'Alene. And those prices started around $48,000 for like a manufactured home, mobile home in a park, all the way up to about $12 million. So as you can see, we've got a real diverse, when it comes to housing, and that's going to include everything, like I said, from a mobile home in a park, you've got condos, we've got single family, or if you wanted something a little nicer out on the lake, there's literally a little bit of something for everybody. And so there are some great subdivisions in this area that for families, and I think that's been another big driver. People coming into some of these subdivisions because we've got great schools, great quality of life, and it just offers a lot up here. And so that's been a big driver for people. The rent, they're showing a median rent for about $1,200 is really low. That's going to probably get you a 2-bed, 1-bath, somewhere maybe a 2-bed, 2-bath, depending on where you're at. But if you want anything in like a 3-bed, 2-bath or above, you're really going to be more in that $2,000 a month range and on, depending on where you're at, how nice the property is, the location of it, how close you are to the lake, some of those types of things. So that can really change depending on where you're at and where you're going. Good for families, a B minus. And so I think that's a great grade for that. You've got, with the higher public schools, as you look through some of these, you've got an A for outdoor activities, A for health and fitness, your, B minus for crime and safety. All these things really add up to being a great place for families. So I can see why they put that as a B minus. As we look at jobs working in the area, this is an area that, like I said, it's a destination, it's a resort town. So a big amount of the jobs are working in that with people in the service industry, whether it's bars, restaurants, whether you're working, places like the resort. I think the resort's a big employer. So there's always those types of jobs that are coming up. Probably some of the other big employers here are going to be like the hospital, Kootenai Hospital. We do also have Northwest Hospital here. So there are some of those in the health industry that offers a lot of different jobs. And then a lot of self-employed people in these areas, that are entrepreneurs that own restaurants, own bars, own coffee shops, that, a lot of the white collar type jobs that, accountants and a lot in the health industry and that type of thing. So they're showing the median household income, $65,786. I'm not quite sure. I tried to really check that number as I couldn't come up with the right information. That's probably not too far off. But if you're planning on coming here thinking, hey, I'm going to get started somewhere and work my way up through a job, if it's outside of like something like the hospital or in that type of industry, most likely you are traveling over to the Spokane area where there's more jobs available to kind of get in on that bottom or mid-level to work up. So just know that there's not a lot of those type jobs unless you're looking at being in the service industry. So that is something to keep in mind. Cost of living, C minus, and I don't think that our grocery prices are a whole lot more expensive than a lot of other places. I don't think we have a huge price increase on a lot of our goods and services, But where probably is driving that mostly is our real estate. Cost of living is very high here with the real estate. Home prices have really gone up. Of course, everything's high right now. It's hard to try to buy a home in this atmosphere right now, but just so I think that's a lot of the big driving force. You know, if you want to come in and you're thinking about buying a home, you know, a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet, it's going to start you around 400,000. And so a lot of people just don't have that ability to be able to do that. So it's pushing them back over into the Spokane area where you can still get homes for 200,000 to 250,000, you know, and get in and have a nice little starter home. So cost of living, C-. I can understand that. Outdoor activities, we've got it all. I think that's one of the big drivers that why people come up here. You've got hiking, mountain biking. You know, we've got biking and hiking, walking paths all through town, along the lake. You know, you've got all the lake activities. People love to get out there and play on the water. In the winter, we've got 4 ski areas all within an hour's drive. You know, cross-country skiing, winter hiking, snowshoeing, what you name it, you can find it. So there is just a ton of outdoor activities, and that doesn't even touch upon fishing and hunting and snowmobiling and all those other things that people love to do, and ATVs, but it's got it all. And I think that's what brings a lot of people here, is that quality of life. If you love doing things in the outdoors, boy, you can find whatever you want to do up here in this area. Crime and safety. Let's talk a little bit about crime and safety. It's pretty low. You know, we look at how it's calculated nationally at 282 is the average. We're at 187.5 for assault. Very low. You know, we got some of these that are low. This one really kind of surprises me. I think anytime you've got a place with a lot of bars and nightlife, and there's probably some domestic stuff there. So I'm not going to try to second guess, but that's higher than I'd like to see. But I think if you're in places where you maybe shouldn't be, we are a town that doesn't have a lot of issues. As you can see here, the assault's pretty low, and some of these others. So be cognitive of where you're at and what you're doing, and be safe. So robbery is very low. Burglary, that's a really low. It's about a fifth. And theft, motor vehicle theft. So we don't have a ton of issues, and some of these are higher than you're going to see in some of the other areas like Post Falls, Raft, Hayden, especially going up into like Athol or Sandpoint. Those numbers all drop even lower. So I think Coeur d'Alene gets a little more, just because we get a lot of outside stuff that comes in. People coming in to visit, people making bad choices when they're out doing stuff. So who knows? I'm not going to try to second guess all that, but we are lower than the national averages on everything, and so would like to keep it that way. Nightlife, there is a lot of nightlife here in the area. Like I said, we've always got new restaurants opening up. If you're looking to get out and have a more vibrant nightlife, there's quite a bit to do. Downtown Coeur d'Alene, they've got dancing, they've got piano bars, they've got just about everything. And then, we also get people who want to run over into the Spokane area and see what's going on over there. So there is more over in those areas also. So just know there's a little bit of everything for whatever you're looking for, whether it's quiet night and dinner or whether it's out dancing. So diversity. Let's talk a little bit about diversity. There's not a lot of diversity here in this area. It's, if we look at it, population here, one word phrase that describes people who live in your area. Most people said friendly, conservative, then they said divided. So that's interesting. Male to females, really very close. It looks like we've got a pretty even kill, through here, a lot of the families. So the age groups, some of the areas will see, more of a retirement age, but in the Coeur d'Alene area, that's really come up and spread out a lot more evenly. Here's where we're going to see probably a lot less diversity is, as we're coming over in this area here. Whoops, I didn't do a very good job, but we've got 86% here white, and so there's not a ton of diversity here. Would love to have more diversity here. Everybody's welcome, and I don't know if it's just over the years or not everybody loves the colder weather. Who knows? So I'm not quite sure, but just kind of, we're not a huge diverse group up here, but all is welcome. Let's put it that way. Weather in this area, probably the best part up here is in the summer, from late June to late mid-September is absolutely beautiful. We do get some nice late springs and early falls where we'll have a lot of weather in that 60s, 70s, perfect for hiking and biking and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of the early spring, late fall. To me it's cold and gray and rainy, and it's not really my favorite. Winter here starts late November. We usually get a snow sometime in mid to late November. Doesn't always stick. And then by mid to late December, we start getting a lot more of our snow where it starts to stick, and we'll go through February. So by March, we're usually starting to lighten up, and it's starting to melt off, or we'll get snow and it'll turn to rain and that type of stuff. But during those months right there, the average snowfall is about 69 inches here in the Coeur d'Alene area. Now that does vary because it could change year to year. 2 years ago we were at 83, and 3 years before that we were at 90. And we have had years as high as 179 here in the area. So we are capable of getting a lot of snow, but we are at 2,300 elevation. So Coeur d'Alene typically does not get the amount of snowfall as you see in like Rathdrum. You'll get twice the snow in Rathdrum and Athol and some of those. Hayden usually gets a little more snow than Coeur d'Alene, but as you move north, you get up into that snow belt, and so you get a lot more snow in those areas. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're not wanting a ton of snow. Maybe this is more of a come for the summer months. Maybe you're just a 2 or 3 season person, or look at some of these areas down in the Coeur d'Alene area or something where it doesn't get quite as much snow. You're not having to deal with it as much, but we can help you out with that. We can kind of help you know where maybe the better areas to be if you're trying to avoid some of that. And so we're happy to do that. Health and fitness, A-, and I think a lot of that comes from, you got outdoor activities, you've got, as I run around, I don't think I see people that are absolutely healthier than anywhere else I've been, but I think anywhere where you got a lot of fun outdoor activities, we have all those things that people love to do, which probably lends to that. And so, depending on whatever you're looking for, of course, we've got gyms and health clubs and all that kind of stuff. If you love pickleball, tennis, working out, all those things, it's here, and we can help you figure out, whether it's the Croc Center, Peak Fitness, or any of those types of things. There's something for everybody. So last one is commute. And we want to talk a little bit about commute. Getting around Coeur d'Alene is typically not hard if you're trying to get from one side to the other to get to a job. But just keep in mind that, like I said, we are a destination place, and from about early July till Labor Day, it gets pretty crowded. We get a lot of people down, especially if we've got the Coeur d'Alene going, you got the boat regattas, you've got Ironman, some of these things. They do a lot of activities. Every Wednesday night, they do the live, they have live bands and stuff in the park, and you can get out and they block off some of the streets. So just keep some of that in mind. There are things that attract, tourists, because we are a tourist destination. So there are those things, and you're going to find a lot more traffic down in the Coeur d'Alene area than you're going to find in Hayden or Rathdrum or Post Falls or some of that type of stuff. So keep that in mind. If you're commuting because you're working over into Spokane, that's going to land a whole different depending on what time of day you're going over and coming back. There are a lot of people that commute from here over to Spokane and work in the Spokane area. So just be aware of that. I have been at a standstill out on I-90. So just depending on the time of the day and when you're trying to get over there, you could have some commute issues. And like I said, we're happy to help you with that. Tell us where you're going. We can help you decide which areas are going to be the worst and what might be the easiest way getting over to some of those areas. And so just let us know how we can help. So anyway, just wanted to have a quick brief recap on the Coeur d'Alene area. And this is just a fantastic place. Come visit, come live, come check us out. Number 14 in best places to retire in Idaho. So it really has been just, it's a great quality of life here. I wanted to just take a quick look at some of the reviews. We've got 270 reviews and 101 of those so were excellent. And then another 104 were very good. So, the most of these reviews were all 4 stars and above. Coeur d'Alene, scenic city, North Idaho, known for its stunning natural beauty. I won't read all of that, but boating, hiking, draws tourists, rich in history, just kind of a strong community spirit. That was done 2 days ago, so that was kind of nice. This one, my town is lovely, but the public schools have many issues with funding and keeping up with the rapid expansion. We talked a little bit about that. The city has experienced students are constantly under threat of their extracurriculars being cut, as well as art and pottery classes. However, this battle has been uphill recently, and things in the future are looking hopeful. Yep, so we hope some of these things get passed. So yeah, there's a lot of different reviews here. Just in all fairness, let's look at a terrible. This was done back in 2022. I've lived here my entire life. We're selling our home and moving to North Carolina. I'm so sick of this place. There's almost no diversity here. That's true. We talked a little bit about that. No culture. And it's as whitewashed as it gets. If you love Trump, you'll fit in. There are Trump flags everywhere and people carrying AR-15s around the grocery stores. We have had some of that, and people do open carry guns up here. So that is something to keep in mind. The Second Amendment here is very strong and alive. So, I think, though, based on the amount of these, this is one of the fewer, what do I want to say? This is not, the main thought process up here. This person here back in 21, it's a terrible place, home of the skinheads and unsafe for children and young adults. You don't need a permit to conceal carry weapons. That's true. You do not. Winters are brutal and was outrageously hot and dry. Anyway, so if you caught our last 5 reasons why not to move to Hayden, Idaho, we did talk a little bit about the Aryan Nation, the skinheads. That's something that was an issue back in the 70s and 80s, 90s and 2000. They ran out of money and their compound was plowed over and auctioned off to North Idaho College. So hopefully we are moved past that. I don't hear issues about any of that type of stuff. So, give us a call. If you've got a concern about what's going on up here in the Idaho area, North Idaho area, Coeur d'Alene area, would love to talk to you about it. Talk about your concerns. We're never too busy for you, and we'll get you the right information so you can make the right choice. Hope to see you on the next video. Like and share our video. Leave a comment. Let us know what we missed, or if you have some concerns. And please feel free to reach out, book a Zoom call, or give us a call, give us an email, shoot us a text, and we'll see you soon.